We're a little bit late, but welcome back. The regular season is over. Sadly, there's no news to report except for the last, standings and how the playoff bracket ended up shaping up. No one was eliminated because the other four teams were eliminated prior to this week. I'll go over the matchups, go over the standings, the final power rankings of 2025. I guess we may have some power rankings at the end of the year, post-championship. And then I'll go over the matchups. I'm not going to do a full bracket analysis and or predictions. I am just going to go over who I think is going to win this week. And we'll start, I'll start back over with the matchups. First game, James over Sean, 155-151. Shout out to Jalen Hurts for fucking Sean. Love that for you. Jackson over Tanner, 179-117. Not a great showing for Tanner walking into the playoffs. He lost his spot in the bye. Jackson takes over, 9-5. 9-5 for Tanner, 9-5 for Sean. Third game, Casey over Colton, 136-90. Colton once again not reaching 100 points. Not great. Austin over Kurt, 198-111. Some people are asking at the water cooler, did Austin peak too soon? 1 week before the playoffs? People will be asking. Finally, Kyle over Chandler, 127-102. I'm not proud of this. Chandler only putting up 102 points is not great for the brand. Not great for how he should be working and scoring going into the playoffs. 127 points is nothing to brag about. Sadly, like James, we are one game out of the playoffs. We're on to the next year, though. We'll be better. To the standings. 10 is Colton. 9 is Casey. 8 is Kyle. That's me. 7 is James. 6 is Chandler. 5 is Kurt. 4 is Austin. 3 is Tanner. 2 is Jackson. And 1 is Sean. So, to reiterate, the playoffs and the playoff bracket. Chandler is the 6th seed. He is playing Tanner, who is the 3 seed. Kurt is playing Austin. Kurt is the 5. Austin's the 4. And then Sean and Jackson are waiting in their bye weeks. Okay? I'll come back to the predictions a little bit later. To the power rankings. At 10, I have Colton. Sadly enough, his team and the lack of trades that he's made has put him back at the bottom. I think putting up less than 100 points is despicable. And, I just feel for him. Number 9 is Chandler. Not much better than Colton. 102 points. And it doesn't look good for him in the playoffs. Lamar's playing poorly. And Jaden just got hurt again. He's going to be depending on Jackson Dart to try to muster up a win. It's tough sledding there. 8 is Casey. Not a whole lot to say about Casey other than we've got to work on you expressing your feelings. And look, emotionally speaking, when I bring up a point in the group chat, just understand that you don't have to attack me. You can come from a place of genuineness and just state your own feelings. We spent a good 24 hours in the group chat negotiating with you, and maybe not negotiating with you, but trying to explain the theology behind the free agent acquisition bucks. Meanwhile, I got to the end and I realized it was never about the free agent acquisition bucks. You wanted a handout. And that's okay. People need handouts. I understand that you needed some money. I understand that you needed help. Just ask for help. You're loved. You're appreciated. Just start with your feelings. Start with your feelings. Don't attack us. Don't attack Jackson. Don't attack me. Get to a place where you can articulate your feelings. 7 is me. Just kind of ass. Not putting up a whole lot of points. 6 is Kurt. Not great going into the playoffs. I won't spend too much time on Kurt. Kurt's a good guy. 5 is Tanner. Once again, Tanner losing. Not a great showing. Less than 120 points. He's got some tough sledding coming up with the matchups that his team is facing. I'll be interested to see how he does and if he can make it out of the first round of the playoffs. That bye week he could have really used. 4 is James. James, through the last 6-7 weeks of the year, man, I feel for him. That when we're talking about the league median, he's somebody that I think, like, in this situation, it would have helped him tremendously. The amount of points he put up on a weekly basis and his averages from week 5 or 6 on, I mean, he put up some good points his team was producing, and he just couldn't round up enough wins, and that sucks. Nonetheless, number 3 is Sean. I just want to reiterate, 5 is Tanner. There were 2 weeks in a row that I literally said Tanner's name without saying what number he actually was. My apologies. No disrespect there to Tanner. I'm just not a fan. 3 is Sean. Kudos to him for getting the bye. Hopefully he can make a run in these playoffs. He's got some work to do, and if history tells us anything, he may struggle in the championship game and or the playoffs, but that's neither here nor there. I wish him all the best. 2 is Austin. 98 points, almost a 200 bomb in week 14 of the playoffs, or the week 14 of the regular season. That's good stuff. I like to see that. Austin, you're doing well. I was talking to people around the water cooler, though, and the question that they kept asking me was, did he peak too soon? And there was a second question, which was, did he use the slander of did Jackson peak too soon, and then end up reverse jinxing himself? That's what people were asking me about. Nothing I said. 1 is Jackson. I'm not gonna run on too long, but man, from 3 and 5 to 9 to 9 and 5, 6-game winning streak, lots of points. Ended up being, what was it? I can look this up. He was second in points for to only Sean after just a really abysmal start. Made some good trades. When you look at his team on paper, the names and the colors on his team, they just don't jump off the page for me. But that's on me. I may be washed. So kudos to Jackson. Kudos to him gathering his guys, really rallying and getting to the playoffs with great momentum. Final power rankings of the regular season. That was that. So to circle back, we got the playoff bracket. Kurt and Austin play this week. Chan and Tanner, Jackson and Sean are waiting in the second round. Between Kurt and Austin, I looked at the matchups, and I think Austin has a couple more favorable matchups at the more important positions. Kurt doesn't have as many favorable matchups, meaning the defenses that he's playing. The second game, Chan and Tanner, man, talk about two teams dragging ass into the playoffs. I'm not convinced that either one of these teams wants to win the game. I'm not convinced either one of them wants to play in the next round. Both of them have been struggling to put up 120 points every week for the past couple weeks. This is a defensive matchup and a nightmare of a game to watch, at least from my perspective. For all I know, it could be a blowout, could be a shootout. Who knows? My gut tells me, based on the way that Jaden is hurt and the way that Lamar is playing right now, I think Tanner may have the edge. I'll take Tanner in that one. So in the second round, it'd be Sean Austin and Tanner and Jackson. I won't go into those predictions. I'll just move on, and I'll see you here next week. I appreciate your patience. Thank you to Sean for reaching out and asking about the league note. That's very kind of you, and it makes me feel wanted and special and loved. So that's good. Until next week, fellas. Good luck.